Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Bit of a rare treat today, a triple unboxing. Only the second triple unboxing that I've made so far. 3 times the sticker peeling pleasure for us all to enjoy. I really do like making these videos. I genuinely open the boxes sight unseen, so they're always fun for me, and I get the chance to preview stuff that I know I've got coming up on the channel for review over the next few months, obviously. 2 micro brand divers today and 1 Citizen ProMaster GMT that I picked up for myself last week. Now with micro brands, normally I get sent them maybe 2 to 3 weeks before the video publication date, be that the launch date or the Kickstarter campaign date or whatever. Plenty of time to get a decent handle on them, but then they're off to the next reviewer or back to the person who sent me them. These 2 I've got for a longer period of time, so great for me. I get to play around with them a bit more, and I thought I would include them in a second video. So what are they? Well, the first one I'm going to show is the Mitch Maelstrom. Perhaps just a bit too much alliteration there, don't we think? Mitch Mason, definitely one of the best new micro brands to emerge on the scene last year. Their first offering, the Chronicle, sold very, very well, and so it might have really strong design language from a first offering, which is great to see. Let's see if they carry on that design language through to their second offering. This one is a dual crown inner rotating bezel dive watch. Next up, after the Mitch Mason, is a brand new brand, HVD. Now, HVD are a side project of the owner of RZE, clearly into 3-word acronyms, TWAs. HVD stands for Hand Wound Vintage Design. I haven't seen anything like this on the channel before. It is a hand-wound Sellita powered dive watch with 200 meters of water resistance from a non-screw down crown. I believe that is a world first. Really interesting color tones, really interesting dial on this one as well. I'm looking forward to it. And finally, I'm going to peel and reveal the Citizen ProMaster EcoDrive GMT that I bought for myself last week at a bargain price. I've definitely been on a bit of a tear with Citizen these days. Value packed. I love the EcoDrive. I love the fact that it's quartz and it can sit in my box and be ready for me. You don't have to wind it every day like you do with the HVD. Let's flip the camera and peel off some stickers. Let's start with the Mitch Mason Maelstrom then. Come on, there's 26 letters in the alphabet. Show the others some love. It looks like I've got the steel blue one. I believe they're doing 4 different versions of this. I'll pop in some footage of my Chronicle review and I'll leave a link up in the top corner of the screen. Yeah, really nice watch. They claimed inspiration from the Grand Seiko GS44 case of the late 1960s. I wasn't so sure about that, but certainly Grand Seiko-esque angled lugs. That style of watch always wears a little bit bigger. It was a 37, but it wore like a 39, I would imagine. Miyota 9000 series powered and 4 different colours of that one as well. This one I think has classic 40-20 proportions, which is always great for me at least. Launching on Kickstarter in September, so I have a while to get a handle on this one, and you have got a while to save up the $449 I believe they're going to be charging for this if you're keen. Dear reviewer, let's see what it says. Thank you for your support. This variant is the steel blue. The lume on the dial will have a much thicker application for production units. This means much brighter glow, creamier glow in day, same as Chronicle. Please stay safe and healthy. Thank you very much, Ben. Mitch Mason Maelstrom will launch in Kickstarter in September 2020, 440. I just said that. Thanks, Ben. There is one more addition. Look at this. I love it when a brand is organised like this. They're going to change the case back. I think it's just a generic case back on the watch in the box here. That looks amazing with a kind of whale there, a blue whale or something with a Mitch Mason logo. And what else are they going to do? Thicker application, richer colour, crown wobble significantly reduced. And a cheat sheet. My goodness, if only all brands could do this. Anyway, let's get into the box. Are you ready? There is a Mitch Mason Maelstrom in the flesh. Yeah, well, it definitely has some of the design language of the Chronicle. It's got that interesting kind of mosaic pattern to the arrowhead on the hour hand there. Are we going to get some stickers? Do we have a dial sticker? We've certainly got some grot on the dial. I'm hoping there's a sticker on there. Give me a second. No, it's just grot. How disappointing. No stickers, just dirt. Let's undo the crown and give this one a bit of a wind. See if we can fire up the Miyota 9000. Yeah, it's a 9015, same as last time. Date down there, colour matched. at the 6. Let me clean this one up for you. I'm sorry about that. All right, I'm back. It was just a little bit of packaging tape, but I soon had that cleaned off. No stickers, I'm afraid. Well, there is one sticker, but is this the most disappointing sticker peel ever in an unboxing? It's the single sticker over a generic high polish case back. Let's do it anyway. Here we go. I imagine how cool that will look with a proper embossed Mitch Mason blue whale logoed case back there. It will look great. That one as it is, well, I guess it is a kind of placeholder that will do for now. So yeah, some of the design language has carried over. The hour hand, the sandwich dial, the prominent Arabics at the 12, 3, 6 and 9, the kind of pattern of those indexes, but they have totally changed the case shape. It is all about curves, this one. Not the same angles as were featured on the Chronicle. Dual crowns, really grippy crowns. Very nice action there. This one, as I said, date window down there at the 6 o'clock. It's a Miota 9000. We've seen a few of these by now, I am sure. And the top one is also screwed down, 200 meters of water resistance, and that operates the inner rotating bezel. Bracelet on this one, I believe, is a carryover from the Chronicle, so you have a very nice H-link tapered from 20 all the way down to 16. Really nice clasp on this one as well. Fold over security, Mitch Mason etched there, and 6 levels of micro adjust. And you know what? I had this on wrist a minute ago, and it's fantastic. I try on a lot of watches, and occasionally I will put one on, and it just feels perfect from the minute that you do up the clasp. The last one for me was about 2 months ago when I reviewed the Seiko SBDC 185, the SPB 185. It just felt right from the moment that I put it on wrist, and this one feels the same. Great lug to lug, I think it's 47 lug to lug, downturn, sits flat because of the Miota, nice and slim, lovely taper, feels nicely weighted, nicely balanced. That just feels great on wrist. Blue, probably not my personal choice. There's a grey, a green and a black, and I would opt for any of those other than blue. But I know I'm the exception rather than the rule. Blue dive watches go down a bomb with a lot of people. I kind of have bemoaned the lack of decent dual crown inner rotating bezel dive watches under $500. The Phoebus Eagle Ray compressor I looked at a couple of months ago was a good entry. This one's $100 more, but it's got a Miota rather than a Seiko, and yeah, wears sensationally. You'll be seeing this one again in due course. Next up, more an unpouching than unboxing. It's the HVD. They're calling this the Specter Diver. As I said, a bit of an oddity. I have looked at only about half a dozen manual wind watches on the channel. Got 2 in my collection currently, in the Seagull 1963 and the Feynman 1. But this is a really interesting option. It has a plexiglass acrylic, I believe, manual wind Solita, kind of vintage proportions, vintage looks. Yeah, and I have got one in green and gold by the looks of it. Let's get a zoom in on this, and hallelujah, some stickers to peel. So this one is set for a Kickstarter date in early July. I'm told that the one I've got here, let's give it a wind. This one has a screw down crown, but production units will just have a push pull crown, and yet they've managed to get 200 meters of water resistance. Yep, this one is working well. Let's peel off. Oh yeah, look at that dial. I think there's some real texture there. Looks like kind of scored metal or something. Let's peel off the rest of the stickers then and get some close-ups. Right, one on the clasp. And one on the case back. I have not seen one of these before. This is a Solita 210-1, I guess it's a rotorless version of the 200-1, and there you are, HVD, the brand name. I think that is just printed onto one of the plates there. Yeah, very interesting concept this. Okay, we're back, sized up, and at the watch reviewer's favourite time of 10 past 10. Yeah, interesting concept, this one. I know Christopher Ward do one of their Trident, kind of vintage style Tridents, with a manual wind. They use the same movement as this one, and just a push-pull crown on it as well. Very interesting dial. Apparently those are hand-finished and therefore unique. Kind of 70s handset. I quite like the kind of big, bold, angled, light catcher gold tone hands. I'm guessing that's an aluminium bezel insert, but this one does have very much that straight lined, more like a kind of 60s style case, not as much curvature as was on the Mitch Mason. They're going to thin this down a bit. They're going to take another 0.7 mil off it. We have got a 3-link oyster masquerading as a 5-link, but a nice little bit of decoration there. And yeah, not quite the same complexity of clasp, but it looks good. 3 micro adjusts and nicely machined under there. I haven't seen as much attention on the underside of a clasp before. That looks like it's going to be super comfortable on wrist. So let's get it on wrist. Yeah, so it's another 40-20, 40mm in diameter, 20mm lug width with a similar taper on that vintage style clasp, but this one looks bigger and it wears a bit bigger as well thanks to that slightly flatter case profile. I think it's a bit thicker than the Mitch Mason. Also love that plexiglass acrylic crystal dome there. Apart from Vostoks, obviously I don't see too many of these on the channel, so manual wind, plexiglass, you don't have to spend $5 on an Omega Speedmaster. You can get it for the much more reasonable fee of 400 USD with one of these. So what do you think? Ultimately, it's going to be you and not me that determines whether or not this one gets over the line on Kickstarter. Does it have enough appeal for you? Manual wind plexiglass, something perhaps you don't have in your collection already. I've talked about that this year. Brands having to kind of diversify and fill niches that perhaps we didn't know existed before. Have we all been missing a manual wind plexiglass retro style dive watch? Time will tell. We'll know by about mid-July on this one, but I'll be back with a review before then. And finally, it is the Citizen. I have been on a bit of a tear with Citizen over the last couple of months. I am beginning to really see the appeal of Eco Drive. I know it's quartz, but hey, if your collection is as big and as unruly as mine is, then having a couple of quartz watches in amongst the rest of them, I think is a great idea. Now, I spotted this one. I've been eyeing this one up for a couple of months, actually. I spotted it, Aussie retailer, for 357 AUD, so I bought it, and then today I was checking prices, and I saw it somewhere else for 349 AUD. So this thing owes me $8. It owes me a Subway footlong. It owes me lunch. 5-year warranty if you buy it from an authorized dealer, not to be sniffed at. And there it is. I know that Dave from Just the Watch channel, he also bought one of these this week as well. So you can expect to see lots of coverage of this one coming up on your favorite YouTube channels soon. There we go. So Eco Drive, World Time, GMT quartz. Never going to need a battery. It looked solid. It looked well made. It looked like it had a milled clasp, and it does. Solid end links in there as well. What is the model number? It is the BJ7100-82E, containing the caliber B877. All very nice. Let's peel the stickers off of this one. Clasp sticker. No dial sticker, unfortunately, so that is your lot. Let's get it sized up. Well, that's it, set to Sydney time and day and London GMT time, which is the other time zone in the world that I am most concerned about. And in theory, I won't need to set it all that often again, will I? Adjusting back and forth to summertime as appropriate, 1 hour either way. Now, it is a chunky thing. Quartz, so you'd expect it to be a little bit lighter, but it's 160 grams and a huge amount of depth. Look at the amount of depth from that dial. Little slim quartz movement at the bottom there and a big chunk of space beneath the bezel. Check those links as well. They are solid. A little bit rough around the edges, but then it's not a super expensive watch. I did like that little cowling. There's a little kind of extra piece to the clasp there. Nice and neat Citizen branding. Security pushers, 3 holes, and it is milled as noted. So yeah, plenty of value in this one. However, I think the GMT hand is a little bit fast. It looks like it's 15 minutes fast when I set the hour and minute hand, and that hour hand, to be honest, looks like it's about 5 or 10 minutes fast as well. Not much you can do with a quartz if the hands are misset. Not much you can do, I don't think, with a GMT either if the hands are misset, but there you go, you get what you pay for. I certainly got a solid watch that will last a long time. Bi-directional world timer bezel on the outside there. Screw down crown, very chunky knurled crown, branded this time too, and 200 meters of water resistance. Great holiday watch. Remember those things where we all used to go to other parts of the world to foreign climes on holidays? Maybe in 2022, eh? Let's get it on wrist. Looks good though. I love the white hands, very legible against the black dial, as are those white numerals. White GMT markers on the chapter ring there, and I love that steel world time bezel. It certainly adds a little bit of something. Yeah, looking forward to wearing this one out and about, breaking it in a bit. I bought it knowing that I was going to complain about the fact that that is mineral crystal, though. Maybe that is something I will take into my own hands, order a piece in from AliExpress and do a swap over. If I keep this one long enough, that is. So what do you think of these three then? All quite similar in some respects, 200 meters of water resistant, dive focused, but all quite different in their own ways. Japanese Miyota powered inner rotating bezel sapphire crystal on this one, Sellita powered manual wind with plexiglass and aluminium insert here, and mineral crystal but eco drive GMT quartz with the Citizen. 450, 400, coming in at just under 3 on that one. Which would you go for? Any of these float your boat? Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, I will see you all soon.